there is something or someone that kind of have programmed everything in such a way, and everybody in the world just follows that same pattern without changing it even a bit.
First of all, the concept of a country, a border and everything, that also is like it's something that is man-made. It's not.
Who decided what part of the land is yours?
Exactly.
Kuwait, the
Dinar.
Kuwait dinars is it's the highest valued currency. Why isn't that taken into account? Or why isn't like an average of all the economies of the world and you select one?
Why?
Who said that you can earn only by working for someone or starting your own business? I mean, you can do so many other things nowadays, freelancing, or there are so many other ways to earn that we might even not know till now. Welcome to another episode of Squaretable Conversations, where we talk about topics that matter. Today we are going to talk about whether the world is a simulation.
Yeah, so sometimes I think there's this rigid system that's already been established, and it's something like this is how a person should lead their life. For example, the school, it is established that okay, a person has to go to 10 plus 2 or whatever years of school, and then they have to go to get a degree, then they have to go to a job. You know, this whole system is pretty much established and in such a rigid manner that I feel like there's no free flow of thought that is being allowed. And like for example, if you see like just early man or early civilizations, they didn't have a system of okay, this is how their life is. A person starts this way and then they go to this job and then they continue with their life. There was no system as such that was there. But I mean, of course, we have evolved and now we live like our lives. We are civilized. We live our lives in a certain way. But somewhere I feel like it's all, everybody's programmed to live in a certain way. Everybody's being trained to be one of the herd, and you know, and even if somebody tries to change it, I feel like they can't, because the system is so rigidly ingrained in every one of us right now that even if someone wanted to change things up, even if someone tries to lead a different kind of life, they are seen as something weird. They are seen as something that's not fitting in with everybody else. So I feel like there is something or someone that kind of, you know, it feels like they have programmed everything in such a way, and everybody in the world just follows that same pattern without changing it even a bit. So what do you guys think about this?
I mean, not only in terms of like the education and everything, even if you look at money as such, we are born in a different country, we put in the same amount of effort, but the value of the money is different from the value someone earns in a different country. All of those things are there. It is economics, but who decided that, you know,
America gets to.
yeah, the dollar should be this thing,
boss.
right? It's just that a person born in a, you cannot like literally explain this to a kid. It's that complicated. How did everything come into place?
How the world works.
Yeah, and like for example, stuff like you know, prices keep fluctuating of certain things. They say it is based on demand and supply, but it seems very weird where they give a lot of importance to just one currency and everything else is undervalued. So that
Okay, yeah.
That-
so one, it's like you're talking about the US dollar, right?
US
How it is like what is it called?
this,
the main currency.
yeah, they
The
made
currency
that
that is used for exchanges.
Yeah, like earlier
Huh,
we had
I
a barter
understand. It was,
system
huh.
where, let's say, I put in this, you exchange stuff of value, right? And currency came into place just so that, for example, I grow rice and you grow wheat. So I would exchange a bag of rice with you and I would get a bag of wheat. But suppose I don't need the bag of wheat now, I need it sometime in the future. So that is where currency came into place so that I can,
Also, no, wait,
I
I'll tell
can,
you.
it's like,
So it also came because each commodity had a different value, correct? Now you're talking about wheat and rice on the very similar front. So the barter system that you've mentioned is about that comes into play only when you are dealing with equal or almost, let's say,
not necessary actually. For example, if something is rare, like gold, like you said,
Correct.
Joel,
Okay.
you have to give more bags of rice to get the same quantity.
huh.
So you just exchange stuff.
But how much?
Whatever you
How
have.
much of what is? It's very difficult to determine that, right? Let's say you think as a trader that 1 kg of gold is equal to 10 bags of rice, but the rice trader thinks it's too much that I'm giving, and it's just 1 kg that's coming from you. Now, who's going to determine the price? So there was like a set standard then. But what you're trying to say, I understand. When you come to that was back then. Now, when we're talking about civilized economies, why haven't we changed things yet? People talk about how US dollar is like the currency for exchanges, but if we are going by the economics of it also, it's not like the country is doing any great. So on what basis is our dollar, our Indian rupee, measured with theirs? They are in debt, like severe debt. The country can collapse any minute or any day, right? But India is the only economy that's has maintained its streak of growing, and it has been growing. So why are we still relying on the US dollars, and why is our currency undervalued? So, yeah, I understand the point that they have made it a norm just because it's been there for ages, just because they were the one who started all of this. They got the currency into play. Fine, understood. But why hasn't it updated? Kuwait, the
Dinar.
Kuwait dinars is
It's
it's
200.
the highest valued currency. Why isn't that taken into account? Or why isn't like an average of all the economies of the world, and you select one?
Why isn't each currency valued the same? Because, for example, Indian rupees, it's like there's inflation. Whatever you've earned at one point, it'll keep reducing. So you will have to come up with the investing again is like another thing that you'll have to do. Because whatever effort you've put in now will keep, the value of it will keep reducing over a period of time. That's what inflation actually means. So isn't that putting you in some sort of a, it's 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 like a rat race, or it's yeah, it's very
You think you're there, but you're not there.
exactly.
It keeps moving, like the finish line keeps moving away.
Yeah.
I think even when it comes to work or profession or whatever it is, the way of earning money, uh, it has been made a norm. At least like most of the people, I think 80% of people work for a company or for an organization, and they, I mean, I had heard a famous person in a conference. She was saying that her husband told her that if we don't start a company now, most of middle class people like us just work for another company and get retired at 60, 70 something. So we have to start a company now with whatever savings that we have. So whether, even for that matter, starting a company, who said that you can earn only by working for someone or starting your own business? I mean, you can do so many other things nowadays, freelancing, or there are so many other ways to earn that we might even not know till now. So that's also one thing I feel like there are some set rules that you have to study till this class. Then there are so many kids who don't even know that okay, you can study till 10th and then pursue some fine arts or something, and even then you can have a very good living after that, if that is something that you're interested in. There are so many professions, and I think we are not uh, I think that mindset is not built in for us from childhood that we can explore.
Yeah.
We can take that time to understand what we like, what we don't like. I'm talking about professions and careers for now. So we are not told to explore. We are not given that time to explore. It's like, okay, tomorrow you have, in 1 month you have a unit test, then you have an exam, then next exam, next class. That way you go till 10th, then 12th, then something else, then, I mean,
Yeah.
it just goes on. There's no room to explore.
I think it's also that crowd mentality, like the
Mentality.
yeah,
Herd
the herd
mentality.
mentality. It's like again talking about, like she was telling about, schools and how, like, there's just one set path. I think we were discussing about, like a few days back, we were talking about kids who have autism or like any other such learning difficulty.
Disability.
Yeah.
Disabilities.
So we call it disabilities.
Huh.
That is a wrong thing.
Correct.
Because who said that this is the level at which someone should learn? They should know A, B, C, D by that. That's something that we have invented in language and everything.
Everything is human. Like,
Exactly.
the
And
society has given us a fixed idea about what an ideal or the what is it called? The ideal society. Huh. So nobody.
Like a person is supposed to be at this level by this age. It's
yeah.
a set
Huh.
norm.
If not, they're looked differently, and you have to give them special this thing so that they come to your
Level.
That is, we don't treat everyone as just individuals. They have their
Separately,
own this
yes.
thing. You have there's one set normal that everyone accepts, and everyone has to live up to it. That normal is starting to feel like a stimulation now, because we start questioning things.
If anything is other than the normal, it's not right.
Yeah, normal just became normal because it was common
No, because all of us accepted it as
Yeah.
normal. Correct.
at one point in time, but it keeps evolving. So
And we, as a society, haven't evolved yet. We still think the way of life is how our ancestors have, they framed a few ideas for the society, and that's how it has to be. And even for that matter, they have confused morals and values. So they think this is morally right. That means it is right for all. It might not be right for somebody who doesn't, who might be the victim of something. But just because it's right or it has been accepted in the society for such a long time, it's the new normal. That's all. They do not want to change it. They do not want to tweak it. Even for that matter, for most of the cases, if we take, the Supreme Court gets to decide what is a law in India. Talking about India, let's not go abroad. Let's just talk about our own country. The Supreme Court frames like a panel of judges. They say it's a diverse body, like of from different. They are all very well versed in what they are doing, and they know what they are doing. But there are so many instances where they haven't given the right verdict, and it affects so many people's lives. I mean, who are they to decide what is right for the society? Until it's causing chaos. And again, when we talk about chaos, it's the society that causes it, because it's let's say it's a different normal. They are not going to accept it because it's a change. So unless you are open minded, you're broad minded, you're not going to accept it, whatever happens. And because Supreme Court or as a country they want to maintain that calm, they do not want to, give it like a different meaning. They just happen to push it, or they'll just say, yeah, you can do this but not that. It's not like they're giving a proper verdict. It's almost like a half yes. So that makes no sense. What is the Supreme Court for? Why should somebody go there for justice? What if all of these people who want justice turn against them? What then? It's again going to be like a military coup everywhere. They're just testing the patience of the society at some point. When people start, questioning, like we are now, what is the normal?
Like when you're talking about justice and everything, there are few things that I feel. First of all, the concept of a country, a border and everything, that is causing so much
Drama.
riot
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
That also is like it's something that is man-made. It's not.
Who
there's
decided
no-
what part of the land is yours?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It keeps changing all the time. And because of that, there's just so much happening. Just
Territorial fights, this,
because,
that.
exactly.
Yeah,
And people
correct.
losing lives and everything. And the Supreme Court part that she was talking about, usually like in villages and everything, there'll be someone who will give justice there.
The
They don't
panchayat,
have,
the
yeah,
gram panchayat, yeah.
like even before it was organized in such a way. Earlier there used to be some head who used to just give justice and everything.
Sarpanch.
Yeah, something like that. So the thing is, every community they have some different rights and wrongs. For example, for some community, let's say going hunting is fine, for some community is not.
Yeah,
Stuff
right.
like that. There's some different stuff that people have, and when people stay closer to each other in form of they'll have that togetherness. But sometimes and they can form their own laws. But what people are doing here now is they'll make a big country. There might not be any unity in that. They're very different. But you try to impose the same laws everywhere, and it causes riots with them.
Yeah.
Like it's happening to so many countries globally. So that is another thing.